teenager Williams starts for Jamaica. She's off well, Williams. Very, very well it's off. Williams, she will hand over to the sprint double champion, Elaine Thompson-Hira. Down the backstretch they go. Bad baton change by the Jamaicans. The USA trying to close up. Jamaica still running well here with Thompson-Hira. Now to Fraser Price, and the Jamaicans have a big advantage here going into the final leg. Fraser Price to Sherika Williams, and the Jamaicans are off and running. This will be a goal for sure. Sherika Jackson ahead of Gabby Thomas. The Jamaicans are chasing the world record. Will they get it? Jackson is at the line now. 41.02. 41.02, a national record, but no Olympic record, but it's the Olympic gold for the Jamaicans. A tremendous run by a quartet. That is brilliant, and they were outstanding in the 100 meters, these three, Jackson, Fraser Price, and Thompson-Hira, and the youngster Williams giving the Jamaicans a start that propelled them to gold.
A devastating display of team sprinting from the magnificent foursome, and I'm still hoarse, people. Yeah, the Jamaicans miss the world record, but take gold inside the Olympic Stadium in Tokyo. And yeah, it was a case where they were so good, the Jamaicans, so far ahead of the other teams, that their ankle leg runner, Sherika Jackson, had the luxury of being disappointed that she had missed the gold record, that the team had fallen short, wasn't even happy in the moment and satisfied with the gold medal. That's how high their standards were. This is Tokyo Prime, the morning edition. It's still the horse edition from me. My name is George Davis. I'm working alongside Leighton Levy, and I'm working alongside Aileen Bailey as well. And the only thing I can say, can I chide my producer early? He should have given me the men's 4x1 at the end, because unlike other networks which only celebrate their own, it would have been needful for us to show what the men did, because Italy winning a 4x100 meters final at the Olympics, and Italy having the men's 100 meters Olympic champion, unheard of. It is to be acknowledged, that accomplishment, even as we say, well played to the Jamaican men. But yes, the Jamaican women deserve all the commendations for what they've done. Absolutely flying, and the world record missed should not take anything away from what was an outstanding performance. Leighton Levy, I come to you first. Good morning. The Jamaican women, the baton change. That was the problem.
The changes let them down. Brianna Williams gave them a flying start, but the first changeover with Elaine Thompson wasn't great, and then it got even worse with the changeover from Shelley and Fraser Price to Sherika Jackson. They dropped about 3 to 4 tenths of a second, which would have meant the world record. But the win was still fantastic. But the changes, they have to work together now. This is a team that has a couple of years left in it. They have to use the opportunity to get some races in, get that practice in, and the world record will come.
Aileen, from your athlete's eye, and you've been there already, what did you see go wrong on that botched change?
I mean, it wasn't botched. It's just that Sherika slowed. Like, Sherika takes time to get up to speed, but even when she got out, and then she literally slowed down, and Shelley ran into her back. So if she had just gotten out and trust that Shelley would have caught her, we would have been fine.
What about the change between Brianna and Elaine?
Brianna and Elaine, Elaine got away from her. So in retrospect, like, the coaches should have been like, have Elaine taken a foot off, so that, because once you're in, it's like a 10-9 going to a 10-6.
Yeah.
Like, you have to make the mark that you practice with, because Elaine is not going at full speed. So the mark that you practice with, you have to adjust that by taking at least 1 or 2 steps off in the finals. And Elaine was gone, and Brianna had to run, and we would have preferred Elaine to catch the stick earlier and have Brianna run less.
Yeah. Overall, though, your verdict on the performance?
It was amazing. I am proud of them. Sherika was just disappointed that they didn't get the world record, but I'm truly proud of them. The gold medal is back home where it belongs. So I'm just happy, and I'm just happy for Elaine. She has 3 Olympic gold medals, and it's never been done by a female in Jamaica, so that's good.
Leighton, everybody was worried after the 100 meters about team disunity, which was, I think, a huge overkill, because the women did nothing in the aftermath of the 100 meters to suggest that there was a disunity. We saw something. We didn't see them hugging and jumping on each other, and we started drawing conclusions. But from all reports, all was well in the camp, and all had to have been well in the camp for that foursome to come together, the big three plus Brianna Williams to come together to deliver this gold medal.
Yes, absolutely. And of course, you know, when you're aiming to do something together as a team, the aim was the world record. So there is unity in that. And of course, what we saw in an interview that all three women in the 100 meters did, you could see that there was a bond being formed that would allow them to execute the way they did here. And it's very imperative. Look, when you look at the fact that we've set a new national record, and it was not satisfying, as you raised at the outset.
Yeah.
It was not satisfying, which means that these ladies have a unified vision in what they're going for. And of course, there are opportunities coming soon with the World Championships next year. But certainly, it was an excellent performance brought about by the chemistry of the four women.
Yeah, well, when you say something is botched, a botched plastic surgery means that the surgery is done, but the face doesn't look as good as on the brochure. So that's why the baton change, it wasn't smooth. That's why botched is the opposite way to describe what happened right there. Anil Roberts, you from your perch, Port of Spain, Trinidad and Tobago, 1,140 miles away. What did you make of that display of team speed from the Jamaican women?
Can't hear Anil.
We lost him.
Anil, hold on. I'm not hearing you. Hold on. Anil, we're going to get back to Anil Roberts once again. The fact is, the order, people were wondering about the order. Well, clearly the gold medal is in the bag, so the order was right. Could it have been more efficient if the order had been changed? Or, Aileen, I'm coming to you first. Would that be the way, having the hindsight of looking at the race, was that the way you'd have set them out?
I mean, I probably would have started with Shelly, Elaine, Sharika, and then Anchor Brianna, just to push, like, just to get all our big horses, like, top speed and get them all the way out. Because Shelly's one of our best starters. So, and she's started our relay teams before. So, I mean, I would have done it that way. Because once they have Brianna out front, no one will catch her, and she's a 10-9 runner. So on the fly, she can run like a low 10. So definitely that would have been an option.
Would you have tinkered with the formation, Leighton?
Just a little bit. I mean, based on what we saw from Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce last at the World Championships, where she ran the backstretch, where she completely destroyed the backstretch, including an informed Dean Asher-Smith. I probably would have used her on the backstretch, Sharika Jackson the third, and Elaine to anchor. Why? Because if the race is close for any reason, Elaine is one who's going to be able to run away from the field because of her superior speed. Well, that's the only change I would make, and it's not a significant one given what we saw from Elaine on the backstretch here.
Yeah, supporting your point, though, that there's so much more room for improvement.
Yeah, absolutely,
within
a
the
lot.
quartet. Anil Roberts, I hear that you're with me now, my friend, and I was asking you to react to that display of team sprinting.
Well, first and foremost, for those who say that there was some team disunity, when my athletes are elite performance in an individual sport, yes, we're from Jamaica, we're from Trinidad and Tobago, but individually in our 100 meters, we each must want to win gold. So there is no unity required in an individual sport. Each one of us wants to get up there. So that was fantastic. When it's time for the relay, we come together, and Jamaica came together. Now, unfortunately, Elaine, let me first of all start with the positives. Gold medal, Elaine Thompson, 3 gold medals, another gold medal for Jamaica. Never disrespect a gold medal. Okay. Now, Sharika Jackson, I love that athlete right now. You see that look, producer? Put the look on her face as she glanced to the clock, and the total disappointment, because great athletes always look for perfection. They're never satisfied. And yes, they won gold, but you could see the team had planned that this was the time for the world record. We had the best 4. We should have put it together. The first changeover was botched, totally terrible. Brianna Williams ran a brilliant leg. I would have gone with Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce first, but Brianna, the coaches put her, she was remarkable. But Elaine Thompson-Hera, she's so fast, she's so good, she's having such a good meet. She took off and she didn't understand that she was going too fast. And Brianna had to run 3 extra paces, and that botched the changeover. The second changeover was magnificent, perfect, smooth. That was Elaine Thompson to Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce. And the third one was absolutely botched, and therefore the world record was out of the cards. Unlike Leighton, I'm very sorry. This was the time for the world record. These 4, Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce, Mommy Rocket, is on the way goodbye. She is fantastic. She's done great. Her career is brilliant. This track was supremely fast. Elaine Thompson is in the zone of perfection, as perfect as an athlete can be at a competition. Brianna Williams has now started and run well. Sharika Jackson, a finisher, brilliant race, great gold medal. Very disappointed that the world record did not fall. I think it gives that world record another 4 or 5 years before it will fall.
Yeah, great athlete setting incredibly high standards to the extent that you can be justifiably disappointed at having only won the gold medal. That's amazing to say. Only won the gold medal when the world record was what was in your crosshairs, along with the bauble to go along with it. Let's hear from the Jamaican quartet. They spoke with Alex Jordan after their gold medal run.
All right, it's the relay champions, Jamaica, with a national record 41.02. Brianna Williams, let's start with you. A terrific opening leg. As a teenager, what does it mean to run with these legends?
It's amazing. I mean, I look up to them a lot, and I'm just glad that we were able to come home with a gold medal and a national record, and to just allow them to get another gold medal. I'm so proud of us.
Yeah, man, I think you opened the gap, but I mean, my heart was in my mouth that first exchange.
That was the plan, yeah, to open the gap. I was grateful for lane 8, especially that outside lane, because that was the goal to get past and get the stick around.
You're very composed for your first time.
Yeah.
Were you nervous?
No, I wasn't too nervous. I was actually excited. They made sure, they always talked to me during the training, don't be nervous, just,
Don't be nervous, you're handing off to Elaine Thompson.
Exactly,
Elaine Thompson, did you enjoy that race as much as we did?
Honestly, I did. We were actually going for the goal. Then we get the record. We actually get a national record on Independence Day. What more could we ask for?
Happy Independence. Thank you for reminding me of that. Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price, what a way to close out Tokyo 2020.
Yeah, definitely extraordinary way. We, as a team, we went out there, and I think we wanted it. We wanted the Olympic record as well, or the world record, but it didn't happen. But we got the stick around and we got a gold medal, so we are really, really grateful for the effort. And it's just good to see us. I can't wait for all of us to stand on the podium tomorrow, because I think Jamaica deserved this gold medal. We missed it the last 2016. 3 years. The last 3 Olympics. So, I'm glad that we were able to get this one. So happy Independence Day, Jamaica. And of course, Elaine got her 3rd gold medal in the books, like you're saying. So, yeah.
and did you do Brianna's hair?
Oh, no, that was coincidence. I just taught myself today how to do it. I was so surprised how I did it. I don't even know how.
And listen, last but certainly not least, Sharika Jackson, what a finish and what a redemption for you.
Unfortunately the 200 didn't work, but today was a team effort and we did our best. We got the national record. I really wanted the girls for us to break the world record, but it wasn't done tonight. But there are other times, but we are just grateful the national record on Independence Day. Nothing more we could have asked for.
But Sharika, there was so much daylight between you and the USA. I was wondering why you were celebrating. I'm like, why am I celebrating? And what were you thinking when you crossed the line?
When I crossed the line, I was like, my God, we missed it a little, but it's part of the sport, so we just have to go back to the drawing board work and great things will happen.
Wow, national record, gold medal, and still want more. That's a true sign of excellence. Jamaica, congratulations.
Thank you.
Isn't that wonderful? Absolutely fantastic. Heartwarming to see the Jamaican quartet come together and do what they did. So the gold medal is in the bag, national record on the books. The world record will have to wait until another time. But for now, celebrate the fact Jamaica, the fastest women's sprint relay team in the world. Elaine Thompson-Herah, the fastest woman alive. These Olympics, the gift that keeps on giving medals to the Caribbean, English-speaking and otherwise. Break time here on Tokyo Prime, the morning edition. When we return, we'll tell you why there'll be spaghetti dinners at the Athletes Village in Tokyo tonight.
Off they go. Pretty strong start for the Brits. Minzy not that strong on the first leg. The first changeover to Fort for Jamaica, fumbling with the Jamaicans on their baton changing, and the Olympic 100-meter champion Lamont Jacobs has Italy in the medal hunt. The Brits are in command here. Jamaica having work to do. Into the home stretch they come. Seville, the 20-year-old, to close off for Jamaica. China, Britain, Italy. It's the British in front of the Italians coming fast on the outside. The grass closing well on the inside. What a finish! I think the Italians have done it. 37.50. What a tremendous close by the Italians on the outside. Filippo Tortu runs a blazing anchor leg and does it on the line for the Italians over the Brits.
Wow. The Brits were in position to win, and Tortu, who is a sub-10 runner at his best.
Now, I can only imagine the headlines in the Italian papers a few hours from now, because this was like Empire Days all over again. The Italians running down the British and pipping them on the line. It will be a case of spaghetti dinners, a side order of fish and chips washed down by Canada Dry when they sit down to have their meals later today. I cannot believe it. I can't reconcile the fact. The fastest 4x1 men's team in the world, as evidenced by the performance at the Olympics. Italy, the 100 meters champion, Olympic champion, an Italian. Let that sit for a bit. Yeah, I still can't get used to it either. Yeah. Aileen Bailey, the Jamaicans, again, let's start with them. The baton change went wrong. Now, from the little I know from the time I was a high school runner, for a little bit.
Enough, man.
I know that when you extend your hand, you never extend your hand and feel for the baton. You open your palm and allow the person who is giving you the baton to place that in the palm of your hand. The first changeover, Aileen, had Julian Fort feeling for the baton like a blind man in the dark, and it went south from there for the Jamaicans.
Yeah, if he wanted to check, all he had to do was just look down. Because once you can look, because we do like for the 4x2. When you run a 4x2, you don't do the blind pass. You have to look down your shoulders and check because they're going to decelerate. So you have to check, and if you have to reverse and look at the stick, you do that. But because Mims said reach and place the stick, but Mimsy missed. But Mimsy was about to reset and give it back, but Ford started feeling around. And feeling around, Mimsy trying to find your hand and you feeling around. It doesn't make any sense, and it will mess up. But I think he just panicked. And then him feeling around, they almost ran out of the zone. So all he had to do was just put his hand back, check down his shoulder, and he would have seen what was going on. But, it happens to the best of us.
Leighton, we saw that quartet in the heats. That didn't happen. Is it a case of the pressure of expectation reaching them?
Pressure on the occasion and the fact that we know that we didn't have the leg speed. In previous years, Usain Bolt, there was a lot more relaxation because they knew that as long as you got Bolt within striking distance, it was over. This team didn't have that advantage. They didn't have the benefit of that flat speed from Usain Bolt. And, of course, the other guys on the team as well. So when Ford put his hand back and didn't feel, as Aileen said, sorry.
They've been calling me Aileen all day. I like it still.
He panicked a little bit, and it cost them because when you look at the time, they ran the same time that they ran in the final, which means that had they got that stick off quicker, they would have been in the mix for the medals easily. Because when you look at 37.50 to 37.84, that's 3 tenths. We probably lost 2 of those tenths in that box. So it's panic and the pressure of the expectation. Johan Blake didn't run a particularly smart leg either. Not at his best, obviously. But there are a lot of factors that went into this performance that eventually ended us without a medal.
And what I can say is this. I feel for Oblique Seville, for Julian, for Javon, because these guys, Julian Ford especially, I'd have loved him to get a medal, just to lift his spirits and to keep him going because of the difficulties he's going through now. Minzy has been there or thereabouts. This would have been good for him. This would have boosted Oblique Seville's confidence immensely. And even the veteran Johan Blake, who, as you say, is off color right now, that would also have been an elixir for him. So it's disappointing to see them miss out. But before I go to Anthony Roberts, and then I'm coming to you, Leighton, Italy, Olympic 4x100 meter champions?
Yeah, I had the same reaction to when France set the world record back in the 1990s, I think it was, when they ran 37.7 with 4 guys who were running 10 threes because they got the stick around fast. The stick never slowed down. That French team was never ever fast individually, but collectively they were the fastest in the world. Similar with Italy. The difference with Italy, they have a guy who ran just run 9.7.
Who smoked everybody.
And he smoked everybody on that leg, which made a huge difference because he brought Italy back into the race. And of course, Tortu reminded me of Petromania, running down that anchor leg and storming through to take the gold medal. Fantastic performance. You can't deny the greatness of what they've done. You know, you marvel at it, but at the same time, they deserved it.
A-Lead, we thought Italy had 1 runner and 3 other parts to make the whole. We were wrong.
Definitely wrong. And what I love about most of the European countries, I think they just practice and they study like baton passes because their baton passes is smooth. It's just like reach, pass, and it doesn't slow down. And that's why they did well. Like in 2004 Olympics, we were literally worried about Russia because when we watched them in the rounds, their baton pass was smooth. So we were like, we have to make sure our baton passes are as smooth as theirs because if push come to shove and we mess up, they're gonna beat us, and you have to make sure that passes are so smooth. And that's what the Europeans team, they make sure that their teams are actually practiced together at least 1 or twice out of the year so that they have that perfection. And that's what a lot of teams in the Caribbean don't get to do because half of the team is here, half of the team is here. Luckily for us, Shelly, Elaine, and Sharika is in Jamaica, so if it's a possibility that they could work together, and I know Brianna comes to Jamaica every once in a while, so if we can get those 4 to like work together, and if we and smooth it out, definitely next year we do some damage.
Anil Roberts, I send it to you with this: in horse racing, when there's a leader traveling strongly and tying up, you say that the leader is begging for the wire, almost willing the winning post to move from where it is to come forward. That British runner on the anchor leg was begging for the wire. The post didn't listen to him. It stayed fixed in place, and he died at bitter death at the end. Talk to me about that, Italy's triumph, and Jamaica's baton change, my friend.
Well, that poor British runner will have a nightmare for the rest of his life, because the final leg by the Italian will go down in history. I don't know what picked him up and carried him, but it is one of those runs that will go down in infamy, or Italy will play that over and over for decades to come. And unfortunately, the Brit, a poor fella, he got smoked on that last leg. He had the gold medal, the baton pass was good. He was 2 feet clear, but the Italian got up. I've never seen him run before, but it looked like he was flying, he was floating, and he took gold for Italy. So I must give a little respect to my brother Obadele Thompson, because this Italian victory in the relay gives Jacob's 100 victory a little bit more credibility. So I bow to Obadele Thompson a little bit to say that I give him some extra credit, because that back stretch that he ran there was tremendous, and Italy winning gold was amazing. Jamaica, now you must understand, that's why we love coaching. In coaching, one day you can feel, oh my goodness, I coach so brilliantly. I was amazing. Look at my athletes. And then the next day, you're depressed and you want to stay in the room. You don't want to come out. Jamaica's baton passing, unfortunately, men and women, 4 out of 6 were botched. That's not good coaching, my friends. Yes, we have great coaches, but we have to be honest. We did not do well, because if the women passed that baton around smoothly, they could go 40.60, 40.58. If the men passed it around, they would have been on the podium. So you have to take a little pain with your greatness in coaching. Just one final word on the women, because I don't want to eliminate the women. Looking at that interview done by Alex Jordan, and she is so lucky to be interviewing a dream team. You saw Brianna Williams, the future of Jamaica sprinting, standing up next to Elaine Thompson, the Michael Jordan of sprinting. And Elaine Thompson was standing up next to Magic Johnson, Mommy Rocket. Imagine what that does for Brianna Williams and her future. To be there, to stand there, to be educated by them, to be comforted by them, to be allowed to speak with them. This is what greatness upon greatness, generation by generation, where it comes from. Brianna Williams cannot help now, but go on to greatness once she stays injury-free. It was amazing. And finally, when you see my Jamaican athletes and all my athletes, when you have young children, you don't teach them to like to lose. You teach them that when you lose with grace, shake a hand, then go inside and cry your eyes out. When you see the individual athletes performing, do not mix it up with football or basketball. It's not a team game. It will come together as normal for a relay. I do not like Bashim and Tamberi. They hug up and share a gold medal. That's not elite performance. In golf, you have a playoff. In World Cup, you have penalties. We never share a gold medal. We battle till the end to see who's the greatest. So I don't celebrate. Hey boy, come, hug me up. Let's share a gold medal. We don't do that. Jamaican athletes know what it's about. It was brilliant and awesome to watch, George.
Absolutely so. And as we go, I just want to say this. For those who will say that people shouldn't be disappointed that the women missed the world record, nonsense. The women themselves were disappointed. They missed the world record. End of story. Back with more on Tokyo Prime, the morning edition after these.
They go. Pretty solid start. McLeod has gone out pretty well. Great start there for the British runner Jody Williams. McPherson is running up on SHAUNAE Miller-Uibo at the moment. Down the back stretch they go. McPherson looks to have a slight advantage here. Alison Felix all the way over on the outside lane. Runs into some trouble as the big defending champion now quickens coming off the turn. SHAUNAE Miller-Uibo takes command. McPherson taking aim. On the inside, Paulina is coming forward. SHAUNAE Miller-Uibo opens the throttle and comes down the home stretch with a commanding advantage. The battle on for the silver and bronze medals. SHAUNAE Miller-Uibo is total class. Look at her go. She's in front by about 8 meters. Aha! What a win. 48-37. SHAUNAE Miller-Uibo proves without a shadow of doubt that she's the best in the world over 400 meters.
Alison Felix has an Olympic bronze medal to close a tremendous career as well. The Jamaican shot out of it.
Miller-Uibo setting a new national record.
In a free advertisement of her power, her personality, and her pedigree, SHAUNAE Miller-Uibo pulverizes rivals to gift Bahamas gold on this day in sports, August 6, 2021. Welcome back to Tokyo Prime, the morning edition. My name is George Davis, working alongside Maurice Wignall. We've had a crew change, and the woman who we couldn't suppress this morning, we had to give her medication to keep her sedated. She has been so exuberant all day, almost as if she is an elite level athlete once again. Pauline Davis Thompson, like her countrywoman, indomitable, incapable of being put in a box. And she's exultant, and for good reason. This is when we talk about the performance of the ages. Many people doubted her. All sorts of things were said about her mental state, her physical state. But when she got down to business, there was a gap, nay, a chasm between SHAUNAE Miller-Uibo and the rest of the field. An outstanding cast of 400 meters women sprinters made to look amateur by this powerful, tall, beautiful, outstanding Caribbean woman, the pride of the Bahamas. Pauline Davis-Thompson, I give the floor to you. It's yours. Go ahead. Speak.
George, I am so excited. All I got to say, if you're proud to be a Bahamian, put your flag up. Put your flag up. SHAUNAE, flag up. Stevie, flag up. Oh, yeah, we doing it. Get out the goat skin drums, Bahamas. Get the cowbells. Get the whistle. We got to go, baby. Let's go. SHAUNAE, flag up. Stevie, flag up. Oh, yeah. Put up your flag, Bahamians. Put it up. Get it out. Let's go. Get that flag up, baby. Get it up. Oh, yeah.
Hold on. All right. Find your voice. Maurice Wignall. Maurice Wignall. We thought that perhaps this was a vulnerable moment for this outstanding woman. By the time she was done, she made those who had those thoughts look like fools.
First, please don't expect that reaction from me. I'm not going to do that. But yeah, SHAUNAE was showing her class. She was showing her class. And we had conversations that maybe she was playing possum. She went through the rounds quite pedestrian, quite conserved, and just relaxed. And I'm thinking now that when athletes saw that, they thought that she was vulnerable. So maybe that would explain a little bit of going out too fast by McPherson. No, SHAUNAE is a class act. She's the only athlete that came into this season in the Olympics with that 48. So you would have known that it's inside of her. And she just showed it today. No doubt at all who was going to be the person come 150 left in the race. She's just that good.
Pauline, she had some strapping on her right knee, her right leg. But in the end, it was her rivals that had a strapping on their ability to get anywhere near her.
Correct, George. I told you. She's a champion. She's a Bahamian. That's just the way we do things. We show the world we are the #1 sporting nation in the whole wide world. And that's a fact. And that's per capita, based on our size. We never scared of nobody, we Bahamians. We never scared. Never. So I had never had no doubt in my mind. I was a bit concerned about her leg, but I never doubted in my mind that SHAUNAE was going to bring a gold to the Bahamas. Because we Bahamians, as we say, Bay, we never scared, Bay.
Never scared. Never, never, ever scared. Adele Roberts, I come over to you. You analyzed, you articulated the pros and the cons, what Mrs. Miller-Uibo needed to repair in terms of her mental state of mind, the physical as well. But you ended your analysis by saying, with all those factors concerned, she will win gold because she is a champion, and where others will dig deep and not find much, SHAUNAE Miller will dig deep and find a lot, and dig deeper and find more.
My mother always told me, never say, I told you so. But I'm very sorry, Mama. I told you so. And I put on my only shirt that kind of look like Pauline might like it. Is it looking on the screen like a Bahamas color? I can't whine and dance like Pauline did. But let me tell you something. This performance, let us put it in perspective, George Davis, because you love perspective. This mentally is the greatest performance in an Olympic final by a female athlete in history that I have seen. Understand this, there was vulnerability, there was mental doubt, there were questions in her mind. That tape. Remember, the mind is such a powerful thing. The mind plays tricks on you. Back in 1984, I was swimming for just a CISC championship, training hard. It was hosted in Trinidad. And 2 days before the competition, I doubled up with pain, thinking that my knee had locked up on something. That was all in the mind. There was nothing wrong with the knee. SHAUNAE Miller-Uibo from that 200. Athletes who love to win Athletes who are accustomed winning, their egos are so big, they can't take seeing something fly past them, that Elaine Thompson. You could see what happened to the world champion, the greatest 400-meter athlete. But she went back with her coaches. She got into her mind. She dug deep into her soul and her spirit and her patriotism. She built back some confidence in the 400, not stretching too long, taking shorter steps. But she came out for the final, mentally prepared. She would not be denied. When the girl to her right went out too fast, SHAUNAE Miller-Uibo took the first 200 slower than she would have normally done to run 48 low. She went controlled. She showed confidence. At 225 meters, she mashed gas and Bahamas started to fly. And she showed the confidence, flying through the victory. It was not close. Paulina was in shape. Paulino, she blew her out. She blew out Jody Williams. She blew out McPherson. She blew out Candice McLeod. She blew the world away. And it is the greatest mental triumph in such a short period. And this must tell coaches, you must be physiologically prepared and mentally you must build, visualize, and plan. It is an amazing victory. And I must say, George, me tell you so.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Maurice Wignall, I'm sure when we analyze the numbers, perhaps the performance will be even more impressive. But what is true, it was visually impressive for this fact. When, as Anil Roberts said, she dropped the hammer and said, go. Even though it was coming off the curve, you could see from then the others were left in the way. They were all struggling, and she just engaged the gears, and she almost like she left them standing. It was visually impressive. That was a tremendous performance.
Let me tell you something. We've had conversations among athletes, among ourselves, that champions just know how to do it. They know how to win, and they love to win. The euphoria, that excited feeling that you get when you're winning, you want to go back there. SHAUNAE Miller wasn't about to lose this race, so she timed it right. The thing is, the other athletes didn't get the memo. They didn't get that memo that SHAUNAE was going to run a strategically smart race. She knew what was happening to her coming into the race, but she wasn't about to lose, so she went out cautiously. And then she said, it's time to go. Now, when it's time to go, and she has that wonderful 200 speed, she has that wonderful 400 strength, she has those long legs, so when she's taking one stride, everybody is taking a stride and a half. She's going to be more efficient going around that curve, and she just put down that hammer. Now, when you see other athletes there not able to respond, it's just them saying, where did this come from? It's a complete shock, and they don't know what to do at that point. But SHAUNAE knew exactly what she was doing, and she went for it.
Yeah. You know, Pauline, looking at the replay, the more I see the replay, the more I'm saying to myself, some of these women must have been wondering if SHAUNAE Miller-Uibo joined the race at the 200-meter point. It was so devastating. Where did she come from? So they ran 200 already, and then she started at 200 meters and just sprinted to the finish. That was how devastating it was. What a way to defend your title. And, Pauline, if from 2016 people are saying, oh, she dived, oh, this nonsense, oh, that nonsense, next time around, watch how close so-and-so are going to get to her, there will never be even an argument after this performance, given the gap between her and the rest.
You put everything in perspective, George, and you are so right. SHAUNAE abbreviated that field. I mean, she literally killed them. And it's because, like I said, I was never ever concerned about her ability. I was a little concerned, like I said, about the knee, and I just wanted to make sure that she was going to be okay. But I knew that once she stepped out there, she's going to take that gold for the Bahamas and bring it home. I tell you, that girl gets some peas and rice and some crack hunk up in that body. I tell you. Yeah, crack hunk, baby.
Yeah. Maurice talked to me about Stephanie Ann McPherson. We all agreed, was in the shape of her life. She was primed to do something special this time. She wasn't thinking about just winning a medal. She was thinking about gold. She had SHAUNAE in front of her, so she had her target. Where did her race fall apart?
let me tell you, you can't go into a finals and not want to win. Stephanie had to want to win. You have to want to win.
Yes.
That's how your best performances come. So if she feels good, she's going to go with it. Now, the reality is your training and all these months of getting ready should have kicked in. You train many months, many weeks, many hours just to have the body respond automatically. She just felt it. I think she would have thought that in the semifinals, she was very relaxed and she almost got the national record. So if you try a little bit more, maybe you can get it. However, this is your third round and you're going to go in there now with athletes have a different mindset. You have Allyson Felix out in lane 9. She's going to run like a bat out of hell. You have SHAUNAE Miller-Uibo right in front of you. She's faster than you are, over 200. I know you want to win, but you still have to keep your head. Excellent effort. She ran the same time she ran at the national championships. It's a credit to her, but at the same time, still keep your head, keep your calm, follow the race plan. She may have deviated a little bit from her race plan, but still a good effort. And, you know, kudos to her. She tried something. It didn't work, but she wanted to win, and that's the reason why.
A quick word on Candice McLeod.
Candice McLeod, what can you say? PR 7 times in a year and a half. It's an excellent showing. First Olympics, first anything, first national team. This is an excellent showing by Candice McLeod. She has nothing to be disappointed about. And, you know, she's somebody for the future. Somebody definitely for the future. She's seeing a race now where persons are running 48. She's that much closer to her goal of getting maybe a national record in a year time or even her next outing. So she has nothing to be disappointed about. Big respect to them. Jamaicans, they represented well.
Yeah, there can't be glory without dismay, without disappointment. SHAUNAE Miller-Uibo will drink in the praise for an amazing performance that saw her land gold. But there are several women behind her who will be crushed by the weight of the disappointment of falling short of their own targets. After the break, we'll hear from Mrs. Miller-Uibo and we'll hear Annie Roberts talk about the run of Stephanie Ann McPherson. What about Allyson Felix, her 10th her 10th medal at the Olympic Games, drawing her level with Miller-Uibo as the most decorated woman in the history of the Olympic Games. A bronze medal for her. There were 5 women from the Caribbean in that 400 meters of final. One on the medal podium. Well, 2, Paulinho, she finished second. So the Bahamian first, the woman from the Dominican Republic second, and Allyson Felix third. So 2 of the 5 getting on the medal podium. But well played for all when all things are concerned. Let's hear now from SHAUNAE Miller-Uibo speaking with Alex Jordan.
SHAUNAE Miller-Uibo, congratulations, defended your title here at the Olympics. When we saw you enter the stadium, we saw your index finger. Were you telling us that gold was yours?
I was actually saying watch God. That's what I've been saying for the past 2 years, hashtag watch God. And you know, I know he was going to bring me through. He was going through a whole lot of aches and pain. But God always makes a way, and I'm just so thankful. Well, I don't want to be emotional, but I'm so thankful to God for how far he's brought me, and to be able to go home with a gold medal, it's a blessing.
Well, we know your fans would have been concerned about your body. You'd been talking about it all Olympics long. And when I saw you walking out on this track and Stephen Gardner was collecting his gold in the background, I thought, well, could she have any more pressure? What was going on for you?
No, I mean, I was so happy in that moment. I had a national anthem play, and all I kept telling myself was, you know, we're going to get a replay of it. And I kept talking to God, and I was like, God, I need you to bring me through because I need to hear this national anthem again. And to be able to come through with that blessing, I'm just so blessed right now. I'm so thankful to God.
2-4-2 all day. They got his and hers.
Yes, ma'am.
Congratulations.
Pauline, the moment is yours to react to SHAUNAE.
I am just so thrilled for her and so thrilled for my country, the Bahamas. 242 to the world, baby. And as we say, pride run deep in the 242, and SHAUNAE showed that in every step that she took going around that track, she knows that the entire nation is at a standstill, holding their breath and going around that track with her. And she did it, George.
Yeah.
She made the Bahamas proud.
Yeah.
Her and Stephen Gardner made the Bahamas proud. 2 gold medals.
Yeah. 400 meters, men and women.
Men and women.
Can't ask for nothing better.
We won this Olympic, George, per capita.
Well, there you go. Nobody will deny you that. And then Roberts, Stephanie and McPherson. Well, some athletes, of course, get stronger the more they race at a championship. Some athletes have a dip somewhere in the sequence of races. The law of diminishing returns does not only apply to economics and the principles of economics, it applies to life. And for her, it was a case of the law of diminishing returns hitting her, because if we can say poor, and we're not saying poor, but the run, the least desirable run that she's put down at these Olympic Games came in the final, the wrong place for that to happen for her.
The least desirable run, but with the best attitude of a winner. Let me explain. I agree with Maurice. She wanted it so bad. She wanted to win so bad that her emotion and her passion got the better of her and took over her cognitive mind. And therefore, she went too fast in that first 160 meters and suffered. But as a coach, I say well done. I say great, because I want first and foremost an athlete who wants to win at all costs, who is willing to sacrifice and take risks. So even though you didn't follow my strategy, I'm not angry. I'm happy because we can correct the cognitive part. But the passionate part, the desire to win, the ability to get out there and to try your best is something that sometimes we cannot coach. I must say to Pauline and to Eileen, respect you, because they called it on Allyson Felix. I did not believe that Allyson Felix had it in her legs to pull the bronze medal and get up on the podium. But Pauline and Eileen said, never doubt the mind of a champion. 9 medals becomes 10 outside there. Now the younger girls created the position for her to do it. Because McPherson and Jody Williams went out too fast, and because Miller-Uibo shattered Paulino, that the one who stayed cognitive, the one who ran a well-paced race, stuck to her plan, got up on the podium, a brilliant race. Now, this race is a triumph of mental strength. In recent times, the world has been sort of celebrating mental weakness. And, you know, we're doing with a psychologist and we help you build up and we're kumbaya, which is all very well and good. But the Olympics elite athlete performance is about mental strength, passion, toughness. Illustrated by SHAUNAE Miller-Uibo of Bahamas and Allyson Felix of USA. Mentally tough, strong. Some of them men better watch out. Them women are be strong, boy.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and Maurice, as we wrap, it is useful to say the 400 meters is a race that some supremely gifted athletes are deathly afraid of. They want no part and parcel of the 400 meters. In fact, the 800 meters women's champion at these games, Ating Mu from the United States, says she runs the 800. She says she doesn't like the 400 despite her talent at it because it's too hard. Usain Bolt didn't like the 400 meters because he said it was almost like committing suicide. It's an infinitely difficult race to master. We saw Stephen Gardner master the race and master his rivals. We've seen Mrs. Miller-Uibo master both today in an awesome display of sprinting.
Let me tell you, in athletics, there are 2 sprint races that athletes are deathly afraid of. The 400-meter hurdles and the 400-meter flat. 2 just very difficult races to master. Now, Anil made reference to, you know, coaches having a plan, but the coaches aren't the ones going out there The athletes are the ones going out there. So you have a plan based on your predictions, based on what you think is going to happen, based on your training, based on how you think the athlete can do. But sometimes the game changes and the athlete need to respond differently. Yeah. They need to respond to actually what they're feeling and what they're experiencing on the spot. It takes a very intelligent athlete to make that correct change in order to get on the podium or have a good result. We saw it where SHAUNAE just relaxed. She was in pain, she was feeling stuff, but she just relaxed because she knew that if she did something different, it may have affected her. She went and did her thing and responded to what was happening out there. Stephanie did something. She tried to win. If she wanted to win, she would have to go a national record. She would have to do a personal best. She would have to do something she would never or never had done before. She tried that. You have to give her credit for that.
Yes.
It didn't work, but she tried it. But she wanted to win. She didn't just want to come second. She didn't just want to come third. She wanted to win. And Candice McLeod, she was happy to be there. You heard in her semifinals interview where she just said, you know what, anything happened, I'm happy. We saw good, excellent performances from Allyson Felix. Allyson Felix is a champion. She knows how to get there. Pauline said it earlier. It comes from down here. So Allyson Felix just stuck with it. She was running blind until SHAUNAE passed her. And then she just grit and just pull through. Those are the things that make a 400-meter runner. Those are the things that make a champion. And that's why athletes are so deathly afraid of that, because you saw Stephen Gardner on the ground after he ran. He was dying. SHAUNAE was also dying. But with the win, everything, and she was just excited, she got up. But I'm sure they're in some tremendous pain. So guess what? Kudos to them. I would never do it, but guess what? It's their event.
That's all the time we have. Pauline, you can get to wave the flag and take us home from Tokyo Prime, the morning edition. That's our show for today. 242, 400-meter double. That's awesome.